here to push for very aggressive legislation that will have helped people. The Democrats, Nancy Pelosi in particular, know better. They know better. They know that what just happened with the $1.5 trillion in funds that were just printed up, they know that what that's going to do. And they should have known better to ask for more than what they got. But nevertheless, they had to do something they did. So I'm going to take a short break here, catch my breath. I just did 15-minute rant on this whole issue, on just kind of giving you background. And I wanted to just give you the background on where I'm coming from, because when I talk here in the next few minutes about what this all means in terms of why this hurts you, I want you to understand what I was talking about. So this first little segment was all about that. Now I'm going to come on to the second segment. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Needed to kind of recharge here and kind of switch gears. So, first of all, you're going to hear sounds in the background of leaves shuffling and wind. I'm recording this low grade. This is kicking it old school. I'm a garage band podcaster at this point. So, this is DIY, do it yourself, shoestring. I'm literally in the garage. It's literally 36 degrees out, and I'm recording this podcast. So, good times. So, the whole point of this podcast was, how does this hurt you, though? I just explained all this different stuff and got into it, and it's like, okay, Trump's doing this, and boy, they did a package. There's $1.5 trillion. What are you talking about? Tell me, boil this down. Get to the point. Come on. You're freezing. Okay. So let's assume that a Snickers bar, which is my favorite candy bar, by the way, in case you have any ideas, it's my favorite candy bar. Let's assume you had 4 Snickers bars and, I'm sorry, take that back. Let me reset this. Let's assume that you had $1. And with that $1 today, I'm sorry, not today, we're going to go back in time. We're going to say Wednesday, before they did this $1.5 trillion injection that they were talking about. You had $1. And with that $1, and I know the prices are off, so you could buy 4 Snickers bars for $1. And you really love Snickers bars. You want that. After the injection of capital that happened through the scheme known as repurchasing, at least for the next 3 to 4 months, possibly longer, you are going to need about $1.15, $1.25 to buy still those 4 Snickers bars. And you can make them the Snickers minis if you really want to have that image in your head. That's the danger. Your dollar got weaker by the Fed. When the Fed says, we're going to bail out Wall Street, we're saving your 401k, we're doing all this great stuff, you're not going to be poor. No. What they're doing is printing money. They come up with schemes and they come up with ways to launder that, but that's what they're doing. They're printing money, folks. They are taking something from nothing and printing money. Some of you think to yourselves, oh, why are things more expensive now than they were back when I was a kid? Boy, that's just the way things are going. Ooh. No. It's because instead of addressing the fundamental issues in our economy, they're given to Wall Street. And this goes back to Ronald Reagan. This goes back to over the last 40 years of trickle-down economics. That money would have been, you wanted to save the economy, you wanted to deal with the coronavirus. First of all, there's 2 separate issues, but they're combined because they're happening at the same time. Because as China lays people off, and as people stay home in America and are afraid to go out to their restaurant, the economy will grind to a stop. That's what's happening. As the economy grinds to a stop, it becomes a deflationary spiral. So as they bail out Wall Street, and they give half-hearted measures to support the coronavirus stuff, as they do it, people are getting hurt. Sorry, that's what's happening. So what they've effectively done with their BS is they have effectively created artificial inflation. They have created inflation. They have taken and weakened your dollar. It's not going to buy as much to save the economy. Now, I'm okay on some level with some of that. I'm just saying that it would be far better. It would have been far better to have cut you the check, to taken that $1.5 trillion. If you're going to print money and come up with loans that nobody's going to pay back, it's a lot better to have given you the money so you go out and spend it and go buy the things and do the things than it is giving these Wall Street hucksters the money. Or if you don't want to do that because you think people are too stupid, give it to the CDC or give it to somebody who can go get those tests printed up, go get those tests done, give it to whoever's researching, give it to all the top scientists so they can come up with a cure or at least a vaccine or treatment. By the way, they're out there. They're starting to come online. Just read a story about Sweden being on it. Give it to them so they can do it. But make a decision, and make a decision on behalf of working people. And that's what they chose not to do. And I'm going to be really blunt with you right now. If we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot as a country, and this goes back to Obama, by the way, and this goes back to even before him, but I'm going to use it to Obama. It goes back to George W. Bush as well. When George W. Bush said we're going to invade Iraq and we have no real evidence, we're just going to break every international law and basically make ourselves war criminals, that was a problem. Huge problem. Okay, Obama comes in. Obama says, wow, the economy's tanking. It started tanking under George W. Bush's watch. Here's what we'll do. We'll do quantitative easing. What's quantitative easing? That's them printing up money to buy assets and then selling it back for pennies on the dollar. Folks, it's a scam. And I don't want you to be fooled anymore. So I don't have any hope and faith. And for some of you unionists who are listening to this podcast and who are listening to me kind of go on this 20-minute rant, you need to understand something. No contract that you negotiate will be able to keep up with the amount of BS that just got passed. Not a single contract. That's not it. None of your contracts will keep up. They weakened the dollar so thoroughly. You don't have the purchasing power, and the middle class and the working class just saw their power transferred. Now, you may ask yourself, okay, Toby, but it's a crisis. Okay, we get all that, things are tough. What would you do? Like I said, I would give the money straight away to working people. They'd go spend it. They'd blow right through that money, and you'd have an economy that worked for them, and they would get some of their needs met. The only money I wouldn't give to working people right now is coronavirus money, because that needs to be going to testing and making sure that stuff's being quarantined. Okay, so I'm going to finish this whole jig up and just say this. Fundamentally, what we are in is a crisis, and the crisis is of leadership. The leadership that we need right now. And I'm telling you this because it's 34 degrees. The temperature has dropped 2 degrees as I podcast this. The leadership that we need right now is people who are going to fight to fundamentally change our system. And that, I'm putting my finger right in your chest right now. Because if you're sitting at home or you're thinking that Donald Trump or even Nancy Pelosi or any of these people give a damn about you, they don't. They will do the bare minimum that they need to not lose the system. And they may end up at the end of the day, because we're so upset, make the changes necessary. I don't know. And I'm scared. I'm really legitimately scared right now about one thing. As we do this self-quarantine, which, by the way, let's not delude ourselves. I don't mean this to be stupid or mean or be whatever. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. And let me explain why it's going to fail. Because you've trained people for 40 years, 60 years to go live their life, that when they have a precious day off, you have working people who are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, who are doing everything they can to hustle, and they're being told to go stay home. And they're going to be receiving some paltry half-assed benefits from the federal government. They're not going to want to stay home. They're going to want to do whatever they can. By mid next week, for those folks who are able to stay home, they're going to be out in public doing something. They're going to be around. They're going to be doing whatever they can. We're in uncharted territories, but I'll tell you this, that people people are people, and they are going to want to live their lives, and self-quarantine isn't going to happen real well. And I don't know what the measure is after that. But I'll tell you this, is that this is exposing all the flaws in capitalism. So I just wanted to finish this podcast by saying I want to thank you guys. I'm going to be podcasting tomorrow night. I'm going to be podcasting every night for the next 14 days on these issues as developments occur, because I don't think that there is a solving of it. Please hit me up at runtmg@gmail.com for any questions. And, basically, stay strong, stay safe, love the people you love, and have a good night.